All right. So it says we're live right now, but I'm going to wait till I can get it up on our YouTube channel so I could see you lovely people. Wait for it to refresh on mine. Up, there we go. Open that up. It's weird, I'm like inceptioning myself. All right. So we got a little bit of people. We got quite a few people in here already. So what's up, everyone? This is the second episode of Variant Live. This is a new thing we're going to be doing every Monday around 3 p.m. CST, roughly. We're supposed to do that today, but things kind of got a little crazy around here. Some stuff with the audio, life. But we're here, and I'm here to talk to you guys about all kinds of fun stuff. So for the second episode of Variant Live, we're going to be talking about some cool stuff today. As I said on Friday in the Justice League review, I'm going to be giving you guys my spoiler thoughts for Justice League. So if you haven't seen the movie, I will give you a warning before I get to that point. But it's going to be spoiler galore. Spoiler. If you don't want the spoilers for the Justice League, watch the episode that went up Friday. But today, it's going to be all spoilers. After that, I'm going to elaborate. I elaborated on the whole thing last week. But talk a little bit about Batman Who Laughs, because that's a huge thing going on right now. I know you guys are really digging the episode that went up last Wednesday, and I can't blame you guys because it is easily the coolest Dark Knight origin out of this DC Metal event thus far, at least in my opinion. I'm sure lots of your opinions as well. Then after that, we're going to talk about Doomsday Clock, because that's a huge thing coming out Wednesday, and it's pretty much going to reset the whole DC universe or make it anew and do X, Y, and Z things, and it's just massive. It's the sequel to Watchmen. I mean, what else do I really have to say? It's a sequel to Watchmen, and it's going to kind of tie into DC Rebirth, even though Jeff Johns said you don't have to have read DC Rebirth, but talk about a little bit on that later. Then the Incredibles 2 trailer came out, or teaser trailer came out. The Deadpool 2 teaser came out, and all kinds of other stuff. So pretty much Variant is just going to be for a way for me to talk about news and things in the world of comics that's going on, elaborate on some thoughts. And at the very end, you might have seen, I got 2 boxes here. Let's move my mouse to the side. At the very end, Sideshow, the lovely people at Sideshow Collectibles, was nice enough to send over this 1/6 scale Deadpool and this awesome Hot Toys Han Solo disguised as a Stormtrooper. So at the end, we're going to unbox these. I'm going to see what they look like and put them in cool poses and whatnot, because who doesn't like, action figures and collectibles are the favorite characters. So we'll cap the episode with that. But right now, I'm going to dive in head first with my my spoiler thoughts of Justice League. So if you haven't seen the movie, if you have not seen Justice League, or care if it gets spoiled for you, this is your warning. This is your spoiler warning, okay? I'm about to spoil this movie for you if you haven't seen it. Can't stress it enough. And about now. So again, one more time. If you don't want this spoiled for you, pause it, watch this video later after the fact when you have seen the movie, or if you don't care, then you don't care. But let's get into it. Pretty much, I liked the movie. It was really fun. Like I said in the review on Friday, it was a ton of fun. But it had a lot of problems. I mean, it was definitely better than BVS. You could totally tell it was like completely opposite of Batman v Superman, like a 180. Like, we even saw Batman in the daytime like several times in the movie, and that like never happens, no matter, like, we're talking about animated movie, even in the comics that's not too common and stuff like that. So literally they just made this movie like light tone, although the tone's kind of shifted from time to time, but overall it was a complete departure from BVS. We're like, oh yeah, people didn't really dig that, or most people didn't really dig that, so we're gonna have to fix things. But I will say, my favorite part, the thing I wanted to talk about the most about this movie, was Superman. Could we all just geek out for a second? Because again, spoilers, about how Superman soloed the freaking Justice League. I think that was probably my favorite part in the movie, because it really just showed, you guys know that like we've done several episodes on the show before about talking about like how powerful Superman really is, and that, I'm on the stance that, he was created to be the most powerful superhero. Like, that's the whole reason for his existence. And this freaking movie showed just how I mean, again, he soloed the Justice League. So there's one point, you guys seen it? So you have like, what, Wonder Woman on one side, I think it was it Cyborg on the other side, and Aquaman in the middle, and they're all basically trying to hold him down. Batman, I think, is off doing something else, because what's Batman gonna do? I mean, I love Batman, but I mean, he was kind of off to the side a lot in this movie because what is he really going to do with all these super-powered people fighting around him? But anyway, they're all trying to hold him down. So then Barry's all like, you know what? I'm gonna run around him. I'm gonna run around him, kind of trick him, and probably, you know, surprise him. But as he's running and Superman's holding all these guys, you see him turn, look at Barry, and Barry's like, the best thing. I was laughing. So the whole theater was laughing so hard. It was probably my favorite moment in the movie. Just Barry's realization, like, what? He could follow me. He could see me. It was the best. So freaking funny. That's definitely one of my favorite parts in the movie. And then even at the very end, like during the final battle, when Superman like shows up, how we got a little bit of the John Williams score from the original Christopher Reeve Superman movie. Ugh. Oh, but that's another thing, just completely different. The freaking score, I'm kind of moving on to this, but that was one of my favorite parts in this movie. The score for this movie was so good because, I mean, Danny Elfman scored it, who obviously created the Batman theme as we know it. You know, the march from all the Tim Burton movies, and was even roughly used for a Batman animated series. And stuff, but my gosh, that freaking score was so good because he took elements, he straight up took like 10 seconds or several notes from his Batman movies where we heard the original Batman theme, and then he took notes and little pieces from John Williams' Superman theme, and then I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was also notes and little sections that he took from the Bruce Timm Justice League cartoon. There was like little hints and notes and nuances that he took and used for the movie. And then even Batman the Animated Series, there was little notes and stuff. I mean, that's pretty much the normal Batman theme from the Tim Burton movies, but he kind of used that version of it in it too. So we got so many like versions of the music we loved over the years from all these iconic characters we grew up. So we got like the Justice League notes in there from the cartoon. We got Batman the Animated Series, the original Batman theme from the Burton movies, and then the John Williams Superman theme. So much fan service. That was one of the things why I like this movie so much. Now, I'm like praising it. I'm just telling you all the good right now, but I'll elaborate a little more on the negative. But the thing I loved about it, like I said, is, or I don't know, I wouldn't say I love this movie. I didn't even say that in my review. I liked it. It was really entertaining. But I mean, especially as a DC fan, it was just so much fun to watch. But again, that music really pulled on the nostalgia strings and like your heart, because you're like, oh my god, that's right, I remember being like 10 years old watching this in the theaters from the original Batman, and it's just like, yes, use these iconic themes. Like Star Wars never changed their theme. Why? Because it's an iconic theme no matter what, no matter the prequels that no one likes, or this new trilogy, or the original trilogy, they use the same theme. Why? Because it's iconic and us fans love it. So I think if DC keeps doing this and going on that route, yes, because it just helps so much. Also, speaking of Superman and the Flash, because I like the Flash in this movie. He was definitely one of the most fun parts, and he was hilarious. Although Barry Allen didn't feel quite like Barry Allen from the comics. He was a little, I don't know. It just didn't feel like Barry Allen. They kind of changed him a little bit, but he was a very new Flash. You could totally tell that, like, well, they even hint to it several times in the movie. Like when he's talking to Batman, he's like, yeah, I don't fight crime and save people. I just push people and run away, which is kind of weird continuity-wise, though, because in Suicide Squad, he makes a brief cameo where he's there to stop Captain Boomerang, which implies that he has been fighting crime. So that's kind of one of the continuity things that I didn't necessarily like about the movie, because it was kind of all over the place. Like, you could very much tell Warner Brothers didn't have a plan like Marvel did. They were just like, yeah, we're gonna do things, and yeah, we're gonna just go with it and go with the flow. They didn't necessarily have everything planned out for like the MCU did. So that's kind of unfortunate, because it makes a lot of problems going forward with the story and just continuity, yada yada yada. Anyway, let's talk about the two end post-credit scenes. We just talked about that, how they freaking did a Flash and Superman race. That was like, again, fan service all over the place for this movie. One of the coolest things ever, where Barry is like stretching it out, and you know, they brought back the whole brunch thing, as you know, it was mentioned earlier in the movie, and the whole thing just hilarious. Just being able to see live action versions of the Flash and Superman race was awesome. Now, we didn't necessarily get to see them race, you know, it kind of freeze frames when they like take off, but just them implying that they're gonna race and showing them like, you know, ready, set, go before they race was just so cool. And then the very end credit scene we get to see, this threw me for a freaking loop because I don't know about you guys, but I was like, yeah, Darkseid. That's going to be the obvious end credit scene. Like Marvel, they had Thanos, the end credit scene and all that stuff. I'm like, that's just, right? Because you had Steppenwolf in this movie. Eventually, you're going to get the Darkseid. He's been mentioned in the movie, implied for like the last 2 movies, so he's going to, that's the end credit scene. But I was blindsided to see that freaking Deathstroke. Now, I know you guys probably remember like a year or so back, Ben Affleck tweeted a picture of Deathstroke like on a monitor, but everyone was thinking, oh yeah, because he's going to be the villain in the Batman movie. He's going to be a solo villain in the Batman movie. And I think it was even a picture of Deathstroke in The Flying Fox, which was that big helicarrier thing that's in Justice League. But the reason why there's a picture of him in that is because of the cameo at the freaking end of the movie. So cool. But if that's not enough that we get to see Deathstroke, he then goes to a yacht. You guys seen the movie. Goes up, talks to Lex Luthor, yada, yada, yada. Lex Luthor's like, I think we need to make our own league, which is the coolest thing in the world because as comic fans, we all know that only implies one thing, either the Injustice League or the Legion of Doom, aka a team of supervillains. Yes, and yes, and yes, because they've already established several in the DCEU thus far. So we know in the Flashpoint movie, Flashpoint is also centered around Reverse Flash. So Reverse Flash, we could assume, is probably going to be on this team. Black Manta is confirmed already as the villain in the Aquaman movie. So we got Black Manta on the team. Obviously, Lex Luthor and Deathstroke, because they're the 2 ones in the freaking scene that that alluded to this. And in the Green Lantern Corps, we could only assume Sinestro is going to be one of the villains, or at least in that movie. So just off of that, I mean, we have Black Manta, Deathstroke, Sinestro, Reverse Flash, and then even Captain Boomerang is also in Suicide Squad, so you could throw him in. Or if any of the people they put in Suicide Squad 2, which I would assume is going to be before this Legion of Doom or Injustice movie, you could throw them in that. Anyway, that's amazing. We would basically have the Justice League versus an evil version of a Justice League, whether it's a Legion of Doom and Justice League. Absolutely awesome, and I cannot wait to see that on the big screen because my nerd heart was all happy about that. But let's go to like the things I guess I didn't like about the movie. It was all over the place. Because I saw it on Thursday night, and I don't know about you guys, but like I kind of when I see movies, I'm like, depending if I love it or don't, I kind of have to sit on it a little bit to ponder. I need like a day or two to kind of really let it soak in and get my final thoughts. My final thoughts didn't change too much. I still thought it was a ton of fun. I want to see it again. I'm going to see it again in the theaters. But I definitely, thinking about it a little more, realized a lot of the problems. I mean, the story was everywhere. The continuity was a mess. Like I talked about that briefly earlier. Like, for instance, the end of BVS, Superman dies, obviously. But then there's a close-up on his coffin. You see the dirt rising up, which alludes, oh, he's not really dead. He's going to come back to life. He's going to come back to life on his own. Yeah, no, he didn't come back to life on his own. Justice League, they freaking had to use mother boxes to bring him back. So that was like, what was the point of alluding that he's going to come back just because he's Superman and then using mother boxes to bring him back? Like, that was just weird. The whole Flash and Captain Boomerang thing, which I mentioned earlier, he pretty much implies that he's never fought crime before in Justice League. Yet, in Suicide Squad, he's seen capturing Captain Boomerang, who's one of his main villains. He's one of the rogues. So it's like, okay, so you haven't been fighting crime, yet you're fighting one of your rogues, which is like your main group of villains? That makes no sense. And there was just lots of things like that. There was some stuff with Wonder Woman that didn't tie into her movie, with the whole like 100 Years thing, and just, again, all over the place. The tone kind of felt like it shifted a bit. Overall, they were going for a comedic tone, but sometimes, like, at least, especially for me, the first 30, 40 minutes, really slow for me, really slow. I was like, oh no, am I gonna not like this movie? Because if it continues on this pace, I'm not gonna like this movie, and they're gonna break my comic book DC love and heart. That's gonna be unfortunate. But then they changed it. You could see, I know everyone, the main thing with this movie is that this is a Snyder movie. Warner Bros. Has been saying that. They're like, Snyder. At the very beginning of the movie, I don't know if you guys noticed, it says a Zack Snyder film. Joss Whedon doesn't even get a credit. I think he gets a writing credit. He doesn't get a directing credit. But I don't know how true that is. I mean, I'm not saying they're lying, but I mean, it very much felt like a Joss Whedon film. It felt like the first Avengers movie. And plus, there's so many missing scenes. You've been seeing online like petitions for Zack Snyder's director cut because there's so many scenes in the trailer. Like, there's usually scenes in trailers that aren't in the movie, But with this movie, it's like half the trailers aren't in the movie. It's like ridiculous. So they definitely went and did some stuff to Scott, or I keep calling him Scott Snyder because Scott Snyder writes Batman and all that stuff. Zack Snyder. They definitely changed it up with the whole 2-hour mandate and took out like 40 minutes of his movie. So I'm curious to see what that's like and how much that changed the story and the flow and the tone, because the one thing with this movie is you can definitely tell there was lots of hands in there pulling different directions, and then they just were like, yeah, it's going to be a fun superhero movie. So that's what they're doing with it. But also the mustache for Superman. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure many of you, because the whole internet's talking about it, but especially the opening scene of the movie where you just see like the iPhone or the smartphone record the little kids recording Superman, asking him what the S stands for and all that stuff. His mouth, guys. This was like a $300 million movie. They could make like all kinds of like Godzillas and monsters, but you can't remove a mustache from a dude? You just can't like cover that up with like flesh? Come on, $300 million? Come on. I mean, I will say, me personally, during some of the fights and stuff, I didn't notice it as much. But that opener, come on, man. Come on. We could put a man on the moon, but we can't remove a mustache. Let's see. Oh, dude. Cyborg saying booyah. That's not a negative. That's a positive. I know I kind of jumped to a positive, but I just had to mention that. That's just fan service all day long. But I'm gonna move on. In consensus, though, really, in summary, sorry, I really love Justice League. Well, no, I didn't love it. I'm kind of all over the place here. I'm going back and forth, guys. I'm still arguing with myself. I like Justice League. It had a lot of problems. It was really fun. I think you guys should see it. But I think it's a step in the right direction for the DCEU. That's my final thought. It's a step in the right direction for the DCEU. It was a lot of fun, tons of DC fan service, but it had a lot of problems. But it's definitely better than BVS. With that said, let's move on to the Batman Who Laughs. As you guys know, DC's metal event's going on right now. It's basically, in summary, a bunch of evil Batmans are coming after the DC universe. They unveiled the Dark Multiverse and all that fun stuff. But the topic on everyone's mind right now is freaking the Batman Who Laughs, because if you guys have seen the video that we put up last week, well, first I should say spoilers. If you guys haven't read The Batman Who Laughs, I'm going to probably mention some things that are going to be spoilers. So if you haven't read that and you don't want it spoiled, there's your warning. Batman Who Laughs, though, it's just crazy to me. I was waiting. It's funny how they bookended with this one, and you could tell because this was one of the ones that they really took their time with, in the sense, like, all the other issues for the Dark Knights, the origins were told fairly quickly. Like, I believe the Drowned, that was literally, they told her origin in like 2 to 3 pages, and all the other ones were probably around like 5 to 6, like half the issue. This one, they took some time with it. Like, it was pretty much the majority of the issue to really get into like the mind of what the Joker was thinking. Like, I love the fact that the Joker, knowing he was gonna die, was like, all right, well, I'm gonna just go all out, and I'm gonna make Batman kill me. I'm just gonna make him end me because I'm dying. Plus, we need to evolve. Like, his whole thing is like, they need to make something better, which is like a Batman-Joker hybrid, because apparently Joker knew when he died, he would release some gas, it would infect Batman, and then he would become he would become Bruce Wayne with Joker's moral core, which is the most frightening thing ever, which makes, I think, what is so intriguing about this issue, because it's literally, because, you know, it's the yin and the yang. It's always about Batman and the Joker. He has amazing villains, Two-Face, Catwoman, best rogues gallery in all of comics, at least I personally think so. But end of the day, Batman, Joker, and putting the two together, or just having a Batman who has the mindset of a Joker, that's a scary freaking thing. Would the normal Bruce even be able to defeat a Bruce just like him, but with the moral core of a Joker? I don't know. We're gonna find out. I mean, I'm sure he obviously could always wins, but that's just a cool thing to talk about. That's kind of crazy. It was just a very dark issue too. I think as humans too, it's like we're kind of fascinated with like, oh, that's gross and disgusting. But it's so intriguing because, man, is that effed up. But if you guys want more detail on that, go watch the video Origin of the Batman Who Laughs. We put it up last Wednesday. Ton of fun. I loved it. Definitely my favorite origin and character, I think, from the DC Metal event thus far. Although, at the end of that issue, again, spoilers, one of the big reveals was that the Dark Multiverse has, like, evil versions of everyone. So there was, like, a parasite Superman, there was like a cheetah Wonder Woman, there was like a Flash with like spider legs, all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm curious to see like how much they explore that going forward, because up until this point, it's all been about basically the evil, you know, nightmare versions of Bruce. So I'm curious to see how much they go, you know, they touch on all the other nightmare versions, because that's like a whole another mess of problems going on. And I'm also curious to see who the person is in who's wrapped up in all the bandages and stuff like that at the end in the wheelchair. I know a lot of people are saying it's Jim Gordon, or is it the Earth Zero Joker, or maybe it's Bruce somehow, even though he's supposedly still in the Dark Multiverse. I don't know. I don't really want to know. I'm not that person who kind of tries to guess, because I like to be surprised. I like to flip the page and be like, oh, I'm that guy. But I think the popular one right now, at least when I saw in the comments of the video we put up, it seems like everyone's thinking Jim Gordon. So maybe Jim Gordon. I don't know. We're going to find out. But after that, Doomsday Clock. Doomsday Clock is coming out this Wednesday, guys. I'm not going to talk too much about it, because this Wednesday we're actually going to put up a review on what I thought about the issue, because it's, besides DC Metal, it's like the biggest thing going on right now, even though it's technically bigger than DC Metal, because it's the sequel to The Watchmen. That's all I really got to say. Jeff Johns said it's the sequel to The Watchmen, and it's going to bring Batman, Superman, and the DC universe into the Watchmen world, or vice versa, and it's going to be crazy. I think, again, they released the first 6 pages of Doomsday Clock already. Spoiler, if you guys don't want to know. There's lots of spoilers. This is just a spoilerific variant live today, guys. Just spoilers everywhere. But they released the first 6 pages of Doomsday Clock, and at the last page, the 6th page that they released, we see that Rorschach is back. He is back. We don't know if it's the real Rorschach or if it's another Rorschach, but what we do know is, if you guys have read Watchmen or seen the movie, at the end of the book, Dr. Manhattan's like, pow, and Rorschach, million bajillion pieces, bloody stuff all over the snow. So how did he come back? I don't know. Did Dr. Manhattan bring him back? Something else happened. What I do know is there's been lots of writers and people in the industry who work for DC Comics and stuff, or used to work for DC Comics, who've had a chance to read an advanced copy, and they said that lots of questions are answered within the first issue that's gonna be released this Wednesday. So if you want to know what's going on with DC, this is definitely, besides Metal, I think this is when you have to pick up. And Jeff Johns said himself, you don't have to have read DC Rebirth or any of that stuff. He says if you know who Batman, Superman, and the Watchmen are, that's all you need to know. So I think you guys should read it. And if you don't want to read it, you can hear my thoughts on it this Wednesday, because I'm going to read it first thing in the morning and then put out a video for you guys. So that's going to be all kinds of fun. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I mean, sequel to The Watchmen. Jeez. Also, Incredibles 2 teaser trailer. Come on, guys. I've been wanting... Incredibles, I go back and forth. It's like Toy Story is my favorite Pixar movie. But I think that's kind of for nostalgia's sake, because it was the first. I remember like bringing the VHS tape to like my 4th or 5th grade class, and like other kids did too. But for some reason, the teacher picked me, and we got to watch my copy of it, my copy of the movie. I'm like, yeah, they're watching my copy of Toy Story. It was like Friday, you know, they do the fun stuff on the weekends for elementary school kids. Anyway, I think Toy Story is my favorite because of nostalgia, but like as a movie, just like, I think their best one is Incredibles. It's my favorite, maybe a little biased because it's superheroes, but it's just so well done. And I know a lot of people make the joke that it's like the only good Fantastic Four movie, but I am so excited for it. This movie is exploring where the movie the first one left off. We see from the teaser trailer that Jack is getting all these powers, and Mr. Incredible is super excited to see, like, you know, that he's getting his powers, but he has like a bunch of powers. So I'm curious to see if like he's gonna have multiple powers in the movie, or like just like as he's growing, like his body's kind of going through all this mix to see what final power he's gonna land on, because the Incredibles, they all have like, you know, their own separate powers, like Dash, super speed, Mr. Incredible strength, Elastigirl, which is like basically the female version of Mr. Fantastic. So I'm very curious to see like how that works out. Like if he's gonna be like the freaking like Superboy Prime of that universe, or like the godlike figure of the Incredibles universe where he has like all the powers. So I'm very excited, but that movie looks amazing. I've been waiting for this movie for so long. Like we got a Finding Dory, we got a Finding Nemo sequel, which is Finding Dory before it. We got a bunch of Pixar sequels before this one, and I wanted this one to come out like years ago. So I am more than excited for this, because again, it's the best Fantastic Four movie thus far. But speaking of teaser trailer, we also got Deadpool 2 teaser trailer, and that was all kinds of awesome. I mean, the fact... So, I don't know if you guys are like me. I'm 30 years old, And when I grew up in elementary school, in art class, they would always put on the VHS tapes Bob Ross videos. So I would always like constantly be watching in art class Bob Ross videos, and he's kind of become like a, I guess like a pop culture like icon, or like a little like a cult classic TV show. Just Bob Ross. It's like kind of funny. Just be like, yeah, Bob Ross. He's got an afro and he paints stuff like that. So of course Ryan Reynolds made fun of that as Deadpool, and he has a wig on over his Deadpool costume. He's got like the jeans with the belt and the white tucked in shirt. Hilarious. Lots of other funny stuff I'm not going to repeat because we try to keep this family friendly here on Variant, but it is hilarious. And then in between all of that, we get like, I think only like 10 to 15 seconds of actual footage from the Deadpool 2 movie, and it looks amazing. It seems like they're basically like, oh yeah, the first movie did like really, really good, like so good, it's actually the #1 rated R movie of all time, so we're gonna just give you like, you know, like 3 times the amount of money, more explosions, more superheroes, we're gonna have you make an even better Deadpool movie, and that seems like what's gonna happen, because it seems like they're going in the X-Force direction. We got Cable in here, we got Domino in here, and we got Deadpool. So, and they've even hinted online, I know everyone's been talking about, Ryan Reynolds tweeted a picture of him, I guess, in the costume room, or wardrobe room. There's a bunch of Deadpool costumes behind him, but 2 of them look to be gray. So is that his X-Force costume? One would believe so. That's going to set up for the 3rd one. But yeah, Deadpool 2 looks amazing. Of course, I'm going to see it when it comes out. We'll talk about it more as the movie gets closer. But let's see what else we got going on for Variant, because we're closing out the year. But since we're closing out the year, as you guys know, if you've been watching the channel for a long time now, this is going to be the 3rd year where we do a Star Wars month per se. I'm putting quotes because it's not necessarily the whole month, but the first several weeks of the month, we're going to have Star Wars themed episodes, which is going to be really cool. So we'll be doing stuff like history of Luke Skywalker, some cool stuff with lightsabers, cool episodes about lightsabers, all kinds of Star Wars things to fill your nerdy hearts, because I love Star Wars, I'm sure you guys love Star Wars, and that's how we're going to round out the year pretty much, with some other random history of episodes and whatnot, and then do some awesome stuff for the new year. But that brings me all the way to these bad boys, guys. Right here. Speaking of Deadpool, should have used that as a segue. Sideshow, the lovely people at Sideshow, sent these over for us to unbox for you guys to see how awesome these things are. And trust me, we have several pieces from them. And I'm not just saying this because they're here. Legitimately, if you guys collect, I know there's lots of collectors out there, these are like some of the highest end, best collectibles you could get in the world of nerddom. And they have like like Sideshow has like the rights to like every property ever. Star Wars, Masters of the Universe, Marvel, DC, on and on. But Deadpool, let's start with him since we're kind of talking about him. So this is a 1/6 scale Deadpool figure. It's based off comic book Deadpool, so it's not Ryan Reynolds here. But I've seen it online, haven't seen it in person. It's really cool because it's like they're all fabric, tons of accessories. Oh, that's cool. Here, show you guys. Here, let's do this together. Here we go. Okay, we got that. Foam flying everywhere. There we go. Let's get them out of the plastic because you can't really see them well in there. All right. Oh, wow. Wow. It's got like pouches galore. Oh, and his head came off. But that's because he comes with multiple heads. It's supposed to come off. Don't worry. He's got 2 different heads, face expressions. Just get all the plastic. Wow. Well, that's kind of awesome. Check that out, guys. Look at this. So all these pouches, they look like they're removable. Yeah. So all these pouches are like, he's got a bunch of them too. So this is like actually like real leather. This is actual cloth right here. His whole suit is cloth. And even this, I'm experiencing this for the first time. This is the first time I'm seeing this. So I'm learning with you guys. That's awesome. Cool. He's got a little Deadpool handgun. Gun. He's got one on both sides. And it even closes with a magnet. Look at that, the holster. It's a magnet to snap close. Dude, that's crazy. His knee pads are real elastic. This one's falling down. I have to fix that. I'll fix that later. But there's more stuff in here. So this is the actual figure. This is, see if we can get him to stand here. Because I believe he comes with a stand. All their stuff comes with stands and a bunch. You're not going to stand? Okay, we're going to put him down for a second. He's got a different head. Cool. Okay, so this one, I don't know if you guys could see. So this one is his like kind of like goofy, I'm funny Deadpool one, and this one's like, I'm gonna assassinate you because I'm an assassin Deadpool. This is more of a serious face. This is more of the fun Deadpool face. We're all like, you know, with the sarcastic, like one eye open, one closed Deadpool that we all love. So you could pick which head you want him to have, depending what pose you want to put him in. Also comes with another gun. Look at that thing. Check that out. That's all kinds of insane. What's this? Oh, wow. I think this goes to the gun as well. This is a scope? It is. Check that out. So it comes with a scope that you could put on it. Very cool. So put that to the side. Because there's more stuff in here, guys. There's more stuff. See what you guys are saying. I haven't looked at here in a while. All right. Whoa. Okay, so before I take this out, look at this. All the accessories in the world. All the accessories. So we got a base. Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah, I knew about this. Okay, I haven't seen it in person, but I knew about this. Okay, so it's really cool about this Sideshow Deadpool. I could open this without everything going everywhere. All right. He comes with comic book bubbles, right? That attach to the stand. So what you do is it comes with decals that you could put on said word bubbles, and then he could be saying something because he's Deadpool and he likes to break the fourth wall all the time. So that's really cool. And they're interchangeable. Apparently I saw some stuff where you don't want to press them down too. If you end up getting this figure, you don't want to press the decals down too hard because they'll be harder to get off. You just want to lay them on there so you can interchange them and reuse them as much as you want. But let's get them on a stand so we can see this guy looks like standing up. Bear with me, everyone. Oh, live TV or broadcasting or streaming, whatever you want to call it. All right, let's get all this out. All this fun stuff. Put it here so we can get our Merc with a mouth on a stand. So if you guys are already looking at this guy and you're like, hey, I want to get this Deadpool because even just by looking at him that quickly, he looks like the coolest thing in the world. Well, you can head over to SideshowCollectibles.com and get yourself one. He retails for around $229.99. But again, some of you might be like, that's really expensive. Yeah, but look what you're getting. This isn't like a little like plastic like action figure like some stuff I have back here. This is like a highly detailed Deadpool that is awesome. All kinds of awesome. He comes with so much stuff. Like look at his katanas. They come out. I'm going to put these on the back right here. They clip on like so. Boom. Look at that. How crazy is that? Obviously, he can hold all this stuff. You can interchange it. It's kind of like a customizable Deadpool in the sense where you can move all these pouches and put them wherever the heck you want. Then he even has comes with a blade. Look at that. A knife. Also has a clip where you could put somewhere on him, anywhere you like. I don't know. Put it anywhere. Here, let's put it on the back somewhere. Boom. Now he's got a knife on him. And he also comes with his favorite Deadpool branded grenades, which are awesome. And I know lots of people like to like put them like that on him or on his waistband because he's always got to carry grenades. And then besides that, he's got a bunch of hands. Like I'm not even going to take all these out because that's just, but I don't know if you guys could see. Try to do it without dropping them all over the floor. There's just a bunch of different hands to do all kinds of stuff. He's really posable. You can actually put him in the air, bend him. He's got several points of articulation, and like I said at the very beginning, here now we got serious Deadpool. Now he's pissed off and gonna kill someone. Very, very cool figure. I'm sure you guys will see him live on the set somewhere back here because he's kind of awesome. But yes, if you guys want this guy, be sure to head over to SideshowCollectibles.com and pick him up. It's Christmas time, Black Friday. I'm sure they might even have all kinds of sales and whatnot on their website, so you gotta head over there and see all kinds of stuff they're doing for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, because this is not the only stuff they have. They have literally almost anything you can think about nerdy-wise or comic book, they're gonna have something. So let me just put this on the floor real quick. Gets out of the way. We're gonna move on to Han Solo, disguised as a stormtrooper. So as you guys know, Last Jedi is coming out soon. So perfect time to expand your Star Wars collection. This is actually a Sideshow exclusive as well. So, meaning when they say that, it comes with an accessory or a stand that's different from the normal version you can only get through Sideshow. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Just the artwork alone is... These things are incredible. We have several back here and stuff, and they're just... Again, they're just some of the coolest collectibles you could get. It's insane. Look at this. Before I take it out, just look at all that. Look at all the accessories. Multiple hands. He's got handcuffs, his helmet, the Harrison Ford portrait, a blaster, and there's even more stuff behind him. Like, I haven't even taken him out yet. It's just crazy. So, let's get this guy out. Come on, Han. It's time to fight Darth Vader. Alright. Sexy figures. I love it. Yeah, the Sideshow makes, and Hot Toys makes some pretty great stuff. Very, very cool. Alright. I don't even know where to begin. There's so much stuff. I guess just got to take Han out. Because, I mean, he's the figure in this set. Look at that.
Put hashtag time to fight Darth Vader.
That's, if you heard of the voice of God, that's actually Tim Conley, who produces Variant, so it's not Jesus talking to me. But look at this, guys. Look, it's literally a shrunken Harrison Ford. I don't know how well you guys could see that, but it is just a shrunken Harrison Ford. It's insane. The portraits are like, I don't even know how you do that. Like what kind of head scan they do or weird magic to get these things that look so real. But yeah, that's all kinds of nuts. He's got plastic everywhere. You gotta take that off. See, look at that. But look, and then he also has a holster for his blaster, which is also a magnet. So it closes. But let's see. It's also, obviously he has, because he's in disguise. Oh, what? All right, I don't know if you guys can see this, but yeah, you're like, oh, Arris, you just swap his head. That's all. Look at the inside of this thing. It is detailed out. Now, like, I don't know about you, but I never knew what the inside of a Stormtrooper's helmet looks like. This tells you. So that's actually really cool. I'm sure several of you probably did know. I didn't know. That's crazy. There's all kinds of like breathing stuff and like cameras. That's really cool. That is awesome. So he has that, which you can hold. I don't think you could put it on him. I don't think it's meant for him to wear. It's because it's in disguise. From all what I've seen, it's just meant for him to hold or kind of have to the side, because why not have all the accessories in the world? Plus, the main purpose of this figure is to just see Harrison Ford, or Han Solo rather, as a stormtrooper. So we have tons of accessories. We got blasters, like I showed you before, a bunch of hands. But I think the main thing, besides the figure, that is really cool is the display. Because it comes with a light-up piece of the hull that I believe is on the Death Star. So let's see how this works. Let's see. Let's figure this. First of all, does it need... I gotta put batteries in it. I don't think I have batteries with me now, guys. I don't. But believe me, here it goes like this. There we go. So then you put this here. Boom.
What kind of batteries?
It's those little like watch batteries, I believe. Yeah, they usually do come in here. I could just be dumb and they're here and I don't see them. They could be. But they're like really, if you guys want to, they're really small, like watch batteries, but the ones that are even smaller than watch batteries. And I don't see them in here. To my knowledge, they are not here. Yeah, I don't see them. And it doesn't turn on. But I know it does turn on. It's supposed to turn on and light up, and then, you know, for display purposes, it looks incredible. I've seen pictures of it online. But yeah, there you have it, guys. Han Solo disguised as a stormtrooper, which is epic. They also make the Luke one of this, because as you know, this is from a scene from the movie. So all kind of, but how awesome does that look? It looks incredible. So again, we got the Sideshow Collectibles 1/6 scale comic Deadpool right here with all of his nice weapons and pouches, and then we got the Han Solo Stormtrooper disguised as a Stormtrooper. I think I said that twice. I'm reiterating myself a lot. What are you gonna do? Live. That's how it works. Can't edit it out. But let's look at the comments, because I'm sure you guys I've been seeing through my periffs, you guys talking a lot in here. So it's time to talk to you guys. Time to answer some questions before we wrap this shindig up. Thoughts on Doomsday Clock coming out soon? I talked about that earlier, so you must have probably just joined. I'm really excited, but if you want my thoughts, I already talked about it earlier, so you could rewind when this is done, or I think you could even do that now. But I will be reviewing the comic on Wednesday, so that's when I'm really going to get into it, like, all the way. Let's see. Saitama or Goku? Ooh, that's a tough one. One Punch Man or Goku. That is a tough one to say. Sorry, I'm getting this out of the way so it doesn't look like a mess, guys. I guess Goku. I mean, Stormtrooper helmet down. I guess Goku, just because I've been watching him way longer than I've been watching One Punch Man, even though One Punch Man is awesome. I will say, though, I did enjoy the first season of One Punch Man, because that's all we have right now, more than I have some of the earlier episodes of Dragon Ball Super. Even though I still like Dragon Ball Super, I think it was just refreshing. I just love the concept. It's this guy who's so strong. The whole point is he's trying to find someone he could be a match for. So it's a really fun anime. Favorite superhero movie? Favorite superhero movie? Probably Civil War. Civil War, The Dark Knight. We're probably battling it out for #1. Love those movies. I think Civil War is almost a perfect superhero movie in the sense that it has the perfect balance of everything: drama, action, comedy. The writing's great. It's just, I think it's a very well-rounded movie all the way around. So I wish every superhero movie was like that. Russo brothers direct everything. Go to DC. Do they have Batman versions of this? So if you're talking about Sideshow Collectibles, yes, they do. Yes, they do. They have tons of stuff. They're actually releasing a bunch of Batman stuff, I believe, early next year. One that I want with all my heart. Let's see. Have you heard of the theory of Barbados being evil Shazam? I have not. Although that's interesting. That could be fun. Although I don't think that is the case, though, because Barbados and Batman Lost, I mean, maybe, but if you read Batman Lost, he kind of explains who he is a little bit and all that stuff. So read Batman Lost. I talked about that in the first variant live stream, so go watch that. Plug in my own stuff. Crossover. Let's see. They had Arkham Knight figures. Yeah, they did. Hot Toys released an Arkham Knight figure recently, and it is amazing. Maybe I can try to get my hands on that and review it for you guys, because that thing is great. Really, really cool. But they have everything for almost every property you can think of, like with this detail and scale. It's just nutty. Their Sideshow's amazing. Have you watched Punisher? I haven't watched Punisher yet. No, I want to. I'll probably start watching it over Thanksgiving, this Thanksgiving weekend, this break. I'll probably, sit there with my bloated turkey full self and watch some Punisher on the couch. Deadpool or Batman? Batman. Batman. I love Batman, but I also think even as powerful and crazy as Deadpool is and his healing factor, his biggest weakness is he's very sporadic. He's kind of crazy. He's not mentally stable, where Batman always has a plan. So there's that. Plus, there's the whole thing where it's like, yeah, you can't really kill Deadpool, and then, he's always going to come back, and he's like one of the most powerful superheroes or characters in comics. There's always a thing where, like, yeah, well, if you take his head and chop his arm off and his legs and you hide them all over different places of the world, you can't put them back together. So there's that. Did you like Justice League? I did. I thought it was, well, I talked about that earlier. But summary for your answer. I thought it was very fun. I liked it. I didn't love it. It had a lot of problems, but it had a lot of fan service for DC fans, and that was good. It's a step in the right direction, I think, for the DCEU. Although Wonder Woman was still better. Wonder Woman was freaking great. Batman or Batman Beyond? Love Batman Beyond, but I gotta go OG, Batman. Although Batman Beyond's probably right behind him, as far as Batmans go. Is Batman's plan for everything overpowered? I don't know what that means necessarily. Have you played Battlefront 2? No, I haven't. I walked to Walmart the other day and I saw the ad for it. I just, with all the editing and holiday season coming, I forgot it came out. I need to get my hands on that and play it. That's the first one was great, and this one looks like infinitely better. Let's see. I'm going to answer a few more questions, guys, and then I'm going to wrap this up until next week. What do you guys think about the upcoming Doomsday Clock? I already answered that question earlier, but I'm excited. Iron Man or Captain America? Captain America. Good old Captain America. He's Captain America. He's just, I mean, whether he's right or wrong, you know that he's always at least trying to do the right thing, or at least, you know, what he thinks is the right thing. He's Captain America. I'd follow him into battle. That's all I gotta say. Have a good Thanksgiving. Thank you, man. All right, I'm gonna do 2 more. Darkseid or Thanos? Ooh, that's a tough one. Darkseid or Thanos? Woo. I want to say stalemate for now. One more, guys. I'm looking for one that tickles my fancy, so to speak. Come on. Looking. Red Robin versus Red Hood. Let's finish on that one. Red Robin versus Red Hood. Red Robin, so that's Tim Drake. He's been said several times that he's, you know, one of the best. He would even be a better Batman than Bruce. He's like a better detective than Bruce. Nightwing's said several things like that. But Red Hood is he's very out there. He's willing to kill and stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna say Tim Drake. Red Robin, Tim Drake. I think he would outclass him in the end, because again, he was said to be, he would be even a better Batman. But I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. And with that said, I want to wish all of you guys a very happy Thanksgiving, as this is one of the last episodes I will be talking to you guys since then. Also, if you guys want to pick these things up, these lovely pieces, I will be putting links for where you could buy these things at Sideshow Collectibles.com in the description below. So if you guys want these or see what other awesome stuff they have, go to SideshowCollectibles.com. All links for that will be in the description. But other than that, happy Thanksgiving. Have a healthy one. Have a safe one. And I'll see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.